The professional triers and the Holiday Lighting Think Tank have teamed up with Cool Tees to provide you, our VIP listeners, with some cool, awesome, and one-of-a-kind professional triers gear, including t-shirts, brew mugs, can coolies, coffee mugs, and of course, the one and only Think Tank flannel shirt made famous by none other than our own JR. So go to HLTTgear.com. That's HLTTgear.com and get your professional triers gear today.
Hey, let's pull drunk Santa Claus into the studio and give him stuff to read. Ripple, please. Let's see here. It's time for everyone's favorite segment. Sure it is. Blinky Flashy Lowdown with our professional sequence purchaser, Brian McVeigh.
Hey, this is Brian here with Flashy Blinky Lowdown with the sequences, and I do have half of the PPD team with me, Clyde. I'm going to do a little interview with him, and I got Keith also on here to help out. And I do want to correct an enunciation I had from last month with the Mona sequence that PPD was putting out. It's actually the Moana. I've been told that many times. So, and I don't even know if I want to try to say symphony or not. So, hey, there we go. But we are going to do a little different this month because it's kind of crazy with Expo just getting over. The sequencers were either doing class. Well, I think all of them were doing classes pretty much down there. So they were spending a lot of time getting that ready. And I didn't get a whole lot of feedback from them this month. So we will continue that for next month and let you know what's going on. We're still going to plug Clyde and see if we can't get that sequence for August 1 to come out. If we can get a secret early release notification on that. I don't know. He's pretty stingy with it and stuff. So maybe because he didn't go live enough down there at Expo, he'll kind of compensate with that. But I do have Clyde Lindsey with me. He is from PPD. He also runs the Facebook page, PPU University. If you haven't been to that Facebook page, it is very awesome. The guys on there are super cool. It was a total blast this weekend with the guys down there at Expo, sharing to everybody that couldn't be at Expo except for Clyde. He was busy socializing, so he's a socialist, social kind of a guy. So
that's going a little bit far. I'm more of a capitalist myself.
Didn't mean to come out like that.
but no, you're a social butterfly. Actually, social butterfly is about the closest I'll be to a social.
All right, cut, rewind. We'll start over. Hi, this is Brian. But hey, here's Clyde, everybody.
How's it going? How you doing, bro?
I am doing absolutely awesome. Doing better every day. How you doing? I know you had a kind of a messed up flight coming back from Expo as well.
I'll tell you what, there's a story there. I had a rather interesting flight home from Expo. So I totally expected to have like all day on Sunday to like kind of pal around and hang around. But unfortunately, my flight left at like 8. It's supposed to take off around 8 o'clock. I was gonna pal around all day, but I needed a ride to the airport, and that was, like an hour and 15 minutes away from Daytona Beach. Yeah. So, the only ride I had that was taking me that way was leaving at 10 o'clock in the morning. So I was at the airport for, and I'm not even kidding you, 9 or 10 hours, 9 hours.
Nice.
And, in that time, I managed to sit down and try to start programming this month's monthly sequence, and I got exactly 0 done.
Well, yeah, this month's sequence is coming out in like 5 days, and you're just now starting it.
Yeah, that's how it goes. No, I've got 7 days. There's 31 days in July. Today's what is today? The 23rd.
I don't even know.
23rd. So there's at least 8 days to go. So I could get 2 sequence. If I bust my ass, I can get 2 sequence.
No, I was just checking.
So you got no programming done, no sequencing done on that plane?
Well, on the plane I did, but not very much. So so you sit down and I have basically shut off my phone. I took my phone and I put it on silent. Okay. Which is what I have to do, because if I don't, then I can't work, because people know that I work from home. So they love to try to message me. Hey, Clyde, can you, and me, I'm a sucker, cause it's hard for me to say, no, I can't, I don't have to, no, I can't help you. Yeah. I mean, I always want to say yes, but oh my gosh, if I got hammered every single time that I answered my Facebook messages.
You are always bring up onto Zoom if anybody needs.
And I am. And that's, that's the blessing and the curse of working from home, but, or having a full-time job where your office is your home. Cause everybody knows it where they can get you. But so, I mean, I had basically ignored Facebook PMs except for like the really important stuff. And so I played catch up, and that's what I did in the airport. It was about 3 hours of catch up. And about the time I was ready to start programming, I got a phone call from my mother. Sister's not doing well. She broke her knee. She's in the hospital. She's in recovery right now. They did a operation. And so there's my mother. I've got to talk to my mother, and that's family emergency, family important, and then beyond that, Rob decided, it's time to wake up and get out of bed at 3:00 in the afternoon. And, cause he just sleeps all day. And
yeah.
then,
I do that to you.
I mean, I did talk to Robert every day while I was down in Daytona. As much as he ribs me on Facebook, he doesn't do that on the phone with me. We certainly have, there's a business to run. So we need to know what's going on. So,
of course.
So what you saw on Facebook is just his way of showing me the love. That's for sure.
The fun. Oh yeah. You gotta have fun with it.
And I know that. Trust me. I know. If I took everything everybody said so serious, boy, I'd just be 6 feet under by now. But
ain't that the truth?
But, no, and then it was another 2 or 3 hours on the phone with Rob trying to catch up on business. And by the time he says, okay, brother, I'm going to go eat. So I went and stood in line and finally got something to eat, sat down, and just as I'm about to start sequence again, Robert calls me on his way to work. So I didn't get any sequencing done. In the meantime, I switched gates 4 times. Our gate departure changed 4 times while I was at the airport. And so let's board the plane now. We've switched 4 times. Our flight arrived late. It was held up by 20 minutes. So we get on the plane 20 minutes late. Now I'm on the plane. Apparently in all the day that I've had, I somehow managed to miscount my row, and I sat down in this perfect seat, got myself comfy, had the laptop ready to go, and somebody comes up. Guess what, buddy? This isn't your seat. Are you sure you have the right seat? And I look up and I'm like, yeah, it's 18-A. And he's like, no, this is 17-A, buddy. I'm like, are you kidding me? And meanwhile, I'd already made friends with the person behind me, and she's a local here in PA, and so I already had that little conversation of because I like to talk to people. Anyway,
yeah, definitely.
I said, well, I hope you don't mind me being your neighbor, because I think I'm supposed to have that seat beside you. And she said, no, you're fine. And we were good neighbors the whole way there. Put my earplugs in, and that's my problem. I have hearing problems, so I put earplugs in. I really can't hear what's going on. But I noticed that the plane's taking forever to load. And I'm sitting there and waiting, and now it's closing in on 9 p.m. and we haven't taken off yet. And we're wondering what in the hell's going on. So finally, this fella strolls leisurely on board with his 4, 5, 6-year-old daughter, and nice, pretty girl, very pleasant. Dad's just getting all the attention, saying, I'm so sorry. I mean, he's talking loud enough. He's not having a conversation like you and I. We're having a conversation. He was talking loud enough so that the pilot could hear what he was saying through the door that was closed.
Of course. And
he caused a commotion. Finally, we all forgave him. He's being obnoxious. Okay, fine. Sit down, shut up, let's go. Well, no, now his wife/girlfriend gets on the plane. And then just as she's about to sit down, he says, whoa, wait, I got to grab something out of my bag here. She's like, will you sit down and shut up?
Just making a scene.
He's making a scene, and here's, so this turned into an argument, which lasted for an additional 10 minutes. And then 5 minutes of banter after that with the pilot and the flight attendants. He was kicked off the plane.
No.
Oh, yes. So it kicked off, and they didn't drag him off. there's no video of any of this. So I mean,
that we've seen it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was just stupidity. And then he's getting off the plane. Then he turns around and comes back on. Wait a second. I have total parental authority over my child. I'm taking my daughter with. You are not staying on this plane. Honey, grab your bags. Let's go. We're leaving. And of course he's saying this loud enough and holding us all up. I mean, just
everybody. Yeah.
We're so now, I mean, everybody's like, shut the hell up. Get the hell off the plane. Go away. Jesus Christ. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, the guy was completely obnoxious. So we're like, finally, and then we're waiting to get on the tarmac. And we had been passed over because we missed our flight, our takeoff time. And that was all due to this jackass that's no longer on the plane. So finally, about 10 after 9, we do take off.
Yeah.
And we get up in the air. I mean, he's soaring. He put the pedal to the metal, or I don't know.
Making up
throttle.
time.
He put the throttle forward, or whatever the hell it was. And you know, it's about 20 minutes before we begin our descent. And this woman that was sitting beside him that had been quiet the whole time was chewing gum. Now I had headphones on. I couldn't hear this. She's smacking her gum. She's chewing her gum and blowing bubbles, and she's popping the bubbles really loud. Well, I caught the little snaps here and there, but I was sequencing, so I didn't pay much attention. Well, apparently she was doing this loud enough to annoy the shit out of the person sitting right behind her and or front of her and or beside her. And she's doing this on purpose. And finally somebody says, you know, I've sat here for about a half an hour and you're doing this gum smacking, this bubble blowing, you know, would you please be a little more considerate to the folks around you who would like to rest? You know, we're going to be off the plane in no time. Just, you know, kind of calm down.
Give it up. Yeah.
Oh, you think that's loud? I think I can do it louder. Oh my God. This, I'm like, I cannot believe I took off my headphones. Said, what's going on? And my neighbor beside me starts explaining things. I'm telling you, it couldn't have been any more ridiculous. And so pretty soon there was a screaming match between her and 2 or 3 other people. And she says, y'all need to F off. And that wasn't it was the F. She just blurted it right out. Wow. And I don't effing believe this, and I don't effing believe that, and you guys need to leave me be. I have my rights. And I'm just like, you know, and this fella right across from me said, you know what, do you kiss your mother with that mouth? And everybody in the plane kind of starts clapping and appreciative. And she says, oh, you're going to treat me that way. And now the only time I wanted to say something, I just really didn't know what to say, but you know, one of the most trying times riding on a plane is jump on the plane and you're sitting there and you hear a crying baby. Just realizing and thinking for a moment, how horrible would it be to sit there on a plane with a crying baby? How terrible would that be for 2, 3, 4, 6 hours? How terrible would that be?
It would be bad, but it wouldn't be as bad as an adult.
Yeah, that's just a big baby.
Acting the same way.
The only thing I could say at that point after she just kept running her mouth was, you know, I would just much rather hear that 5-year-old baby screaming and crying the whole way from Daytona to Pittsburgh. That's the only, I'd rather hear that. And everybody just went into an uproar. I mean, it was like, hallelujah, please shut the hell up. You know, and this woman, I mean, all she wanted was attention. So that was the story. Finally, she calmed down. I didn't hear the gum smacking anymore. Put the headphones on, opened my laptop up, and went back to 30 minutes of sequencing. And I got about halfway through this month's mini tree line sequence. So that's where it's at.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, that's an adventure right there. I mean, I don't think I could do that. I don't sequence while all that's going on. And you said how much did you get done? I mean,
I finished. The sequence this month is hold on a second. Let me look. 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Oh, geez.
3 minutes and 34 seconds. Now, well, actually, time is 3:26.
Okay,
I'm three quarters of the way through.
How many Christmas songs are 3 minutes 34 seconds?
There's a number of them.
Go ahead.
That's incredible. I don't think I could do that. I mean, I bet I can map a sequence a little bit with that commotion, but that's the best I can really do.
I don't know, you know, and you're sitting there. We need to throw in that's a nice story. But,
cool story, Rudolph.
You're sitting there telling a story and stuff, and it's pop